Hello. Good evening. Good evening. It's quite a crowd. Thanks for coming. Thanks for braving the 60-degree weather, and it's great to see you here. Thank you for coming, for taking some time out of your week in order to laugh and be entertained. You see on the front of your brochures, and if you didn't get a brochure, they're on the back table out back there. We're just having fun looking at what God's given us in terms of skills, in terms of gifts, in terms of talent. So this is intended to be fun. It's intended to be a joyous occasion, but I have to say, there are some nerves too. Predominantly me. I think the kids are just fine. Mike, how are you doing in terms of nerves? You okay? All right. Well, I'm nervous, but that's right. That means I care. That's right. I've had a couple of dreams about this. We've been planning this for about 6 weeks, maybe a little bit longer than that. And I had a dream a few nights ago so I asked all of the performers, all of the participants to come at 5:30 just to run through their acts, make sure the sound was good, maybe get out some jitters. And I had this dream that I showed up at 5:30, and instead of just the 9 people who were participating, there were like 100 other people that came and said, "Oh, I didn't know that we needed to sign up." I was really happy for the participation, but having 100 people more in 4 hours, 6 hour, 8 hour show would have been a little hard. So anyway, thank you for being here. Let's just open in a word of prayer, and we'll get started. Heavenly Father, we thank you for today. We thank you for both the participants, the acts here, as well as the audience. And we just give this to you. We thank you for the many gifts and talents that you've given these young and old, or young and more mature participants, and we just give this show to you. Thank you for what it is that you've provided, and may you be honored through what it is that you see here tonight. In Christ's name we pray. Amen. So the first act, I've been trying to nail Tom Almost down, which if you've ever tried to nail Tom Almost down, it's hard. Tom, what are you going to be doing? Oh, don't worry about it. Something musical. It'll be good. And I'm convinced that it will be good. I've had a sneak peek, and it is going to be good. So put your hands together for Tom Almost. Tom, where are you, Tom?
On-off switch. There we go. All right. First of all, I have a confession. I don't know how to juggle, but I do know how to ride a unicycle. And I don't know. For some reason, people think because I'm a youth guy, a youth pastor, that I have all these hidden talents, that I can do these things. But anyways, people ask, why do you do youth ministry? And it's kind of a simple thing. In youth ministry is where God sought me out. It's where things changed in my life in youth ministry. So I am going to do something musical. Trying to remember what I was going to say. I have to put my glasses on. But anyways, youth ministry is where God kind of found me as a kid. So youth ministry to me is kind of a special deal. The youth room for me, is kind of like sacred ground. It's where things happen, really cool stuff. So it's also the place where I met Polly, my wife. I remember the day when her friend brought her to youth group, invited her to youth group, and so me and my buddy are sitting in the back, much like a bunch of other goofballs. And so Polly's friend Denise said, "This is my friend Polly. You know, this is her first time here." And my friend, his name's Ron, he leans over to me and he goes, "I got dibs." And truth, I'm not making this up. And a little bit after that, we went on a double date. And my friend Ron was dating Polly. This was our first date. And we went to, and I was dating another girl. And we went to see the Star Wars movie, the first one, 1977. It was a long time ago. And we went to the Chinese theater in Hollywood. So this was big. So that was our first date, Polly and I. Sort of. Anyways, we really started dating and getting more serious when we were in college. So I'm going to do a song. Oh, this is a song that I heard came on my playlist. It's a more modern song, Brandon Heath. You guys know who Brandon Heath is? We have a few people. Anyways, he does this song, and when I heard it, it was kind of like, there's a lot of similarity between that song and how I met Polly. You know, I noticed that, like all real good musicians, they like tune while they're talking. So I'm going to pretend like I'm tuning while I'm talking, just because. All right, sound good? Put my bifocals on here. I have to kind of figure out what my first note is. Hold on a sec. I just saw the girl of my dreams. That's way off. Hold on. There we go. I found it again. I just saw the girl of my dreams. I wonder if she noticed me. I don't know her name yet, but I know her friend. I'll ask if she's taken or if I should send her some flowers. I just met the girl of my dreams. It's funny, it turns out that she lives just down the street. We can go for a walk, or maybe we sit on the porch drinking coffee and talking for hours. Falling in love is a beautiful thing, like every morning, the first day of spring. God must be smiling down on me. I'm in love with the girl of my dreams. So I married the girl of my dreams in a chapel in Redondo Beach. She looks like a princess in her wedding dress. I feel like a penguin, and I must confess I was nervous. Now I live with the girl of my dreams. It's funny and different than I thought it would be. She steals all the covers and tells me I snore. It's ice cream and Star Wars, but I love her more every moment. Falling in love is a beautiful thing, like every morning, the first day of spring. God must be up there smiling on me. I'm in love with the girl of my I could make it. I'll be her companion until the end. God must be smiling on me, 'cause I'm walking on clouds and moonbeams. I'm in love with the girl of my dreams.
Is there a dry eye in the house? That was great, Tom. Was that an original? I'm just kidding. Wonderful, wonderful job. Great job. Thank you. I am. Yeah, can you do that? Thank you. I failed to recognize our judges, who are a vital part of this process. Tom and Rhonda Kook, thank you for being here and offering your discernment and your evaluation. And then Jamie Kirkland is our celebrity judge. She's the, yeah. Ms. Kirkland is the drama teacher at Sagewood Middle School. So she's the expert. She knows what to look for, all of the things that we're not supposed to do, like forget the judges. So anyway, thank you very much for being here. There are a couple of other people that I need to thank as well. So Jaden Williams has spent an incredible amount of time back there doing sound. So thank you, Jaden. Thanks for that. Bill Clark is running around doing security, and then Darby Vicker up here doing slides. So thank you, everybody, for making this possible. So for our next act, we've got Adam Stark, who, come on up, Adam. He's going to be doing some magic, and he's going to need some audience participation. So he'll call out when he needs that. Here, let me give you this
mic. Does anyone want to come volunteer? Grant, come on up. Come on. Okay, Grant, I'm just going to have you stand on the other side of the table, please. Okay, so I have a trick for you. It's called the two decks. I've cut a deck in half. Pile 1. And pile 2. I want you to pick a card, one card, memorize it, and show it to the audience. Okay. If you have to, walk around, show the audience. Okay, did you memorize it? Yes. I'll take your card. Put it in the other half. Then I'll take this half, quickly look through it, find your card. 6 of clubs. You may return to your seat. You may return to your seat. For my next trick, I need another volunteer. You, sir. Thank you for coming and volunteering. I'm just going to have you pick a card, show it to the audience. Memorize the card. Memorize your card and please show it to the audience. I'll take your card, put it at the bottom of the deck. Then I'll simply just take part of the deck, put it underneath. I'll turn the deck over, quickly find your card. Six of Hearts. I need another volunteer. Evan, please come on up. Please take these. And before you do anything, I want to explain this trick to you. There are 10 cards in your hand. Just count to verify. Now, with these 10 cards, I'm going to have you do something. I want you to hold your arm straight out and drop all 10 into the bucket. I bet I can get more than you into that bucket. Hold your arm straight out and drop them in. One at a time, please. Here, can you please stand on the ground and drop all 10 in, one at a time, into the bucket. If you need, I can hold them and give them to you one at a time. But the three landed in the third card. Thank you. In the bucket. I'm going to take another 10 cards from the exact same deck. 10 cards. You do the same thing. Drop them in, one at a time. Hold my arm straight out, drop them in. Can I have another volunteer? Zane, please come on up. Okay, this trick is called the Four Pirates. The Four Pirates are the jacks in a deck. I'm going to take this deck, put the four pirates on the top. Four pirates went to a movie. The first pirate went to get popcorn. Second pirate went to get a drink. And the third pirate just left. The fourth pirate stayed on top, stayed inside the theater waiting for the other three. When he got a call saying that they had left, he left with them. They all made it home. Thank you. I have one last trick. Can I have a volunteer? Okay, who's everybody pointing at? Okay, come on up. I got four aces. Oh, four cards, actually. Aces come in the deck. Take the deck and split into four piles. Now with the four piles, I'm going to do one thing to all four piles. I'm going to take the three top cards, put them at the bottom of the deck, well, the pile, at least. Then I'll put the three next cards underneath, and I'll repeat. some cards rise like bubbles. For an example, aces. So, I'm going to make all the aces rise. One ace, two, three. All 4 aces right on top. You may return to your seat.
Adam Stark, everybody. Great job, great job. All right, let's give Adam Stark one more round of applause. Great job. Great job, Adam. Next up is a classic joke teller. I've heard a lot of these jokes, but I don't think I've heard of them all. Mr. Mike Huber, come on up.
Hawaii, 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 Hawaii. Who, me? Yeah, I'm doing fine. Thank you very much. You know, you might be a little surprised seeing me up here in a comedy routine, but some people have said every time I preach or teach, they laugh. I'm just glad they didn't say that every time I preach or teach, it's a joke. My wife Pam and I love dogs. Some of you love dogs? Yeah. Do we have any cat people in the room? I'm so sorry. We do have counselors available after the meeting, okay? I always find it interesting what people name their dogs. For instance, I had a friend once who had a dog that didn't have any legs. Do you know what he named him? Do you know what he called him? Didn't matter what he called him, he wasn't going to come. Yeah, that's right. Everybody loves a little melodrama, right? So we're going to do a little melodrama. Get away from those swinging doors, little girl. But I'm looking for my father. Who is your father, little girl? Jim McGillicuddy. I'm Jim McGillicuddy. Father, daughter. Da 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 da. And then what you've all come for tonight, the story of the wide-mouthed frog. Wide-mouthed frog, okay? There was a wide-mouthed frog, and it was hopping along down the path, and it came along to Mrs. Cat. And the wide-mouthed frog looked up at Mrs. Cat and said, Mrs. Cat, what do you feed your babies? The cat answered, meow, I feed my babies milk. So the wide-mouthed frog hopped on down the road, and he came to a cow. And the wide-mouthed frog said to Mrs. Cow, Mrs. Cow, what do you feed your babies? The cow said, moo, I feed my babies milk. Ow, is that sow? The wide-mouthed frog hopped on a little further and came to the crocodile. And he said to the crocodile, Mrs. Crocodile, what do you feed your babies? The crocodile answered, I feed my baby wide-mouthed frogs. Ooh, is that so?
Thank you, Mike. That was great. Even Michael liked it. Thanks, Mike. Our next act is Mandy Vicker. Come on up, Mandy. And Mandy, this is an audience participation song. Can you clap? Is that all right? All right. Put your hands together as we go through. Great job, Mandy. Great job. Thank you. So I'm up next. This is a... Oh, yeah. Thank you. This is a letter that was composed by a major in the Civil War, Sullivan Ballou. And he wrote a letter to his wife back in Smithfield, Rhode Island, as he was on the front lines. July 14th, 1861. My very dear Sarah, the indications are very strong that we will be moving in a few days, perhaps tomorrow. And lest I should not be able to write to you again, I feel compelled to write a few lines which might fall under your eye when I shall be no more. Not my will, O God, but thy will be done. If it is necessary for me to fall on the battlefield for my country, I am ready. I have no misgivings about or lack of confidence in the cause in which I am engaged, and my courage does not halt or falter. I know how strongly American civilization now leans upon the triumph of the government, and how great a debt we owe to those who went before us through the blood and suffering of the Revolution. And I am willing, perfectly willing, to lay down all my joys in this life to help maintain this government and to pay that debt. Sarah, my love for you is deathless. It seems to bind me to you with mighty cables that nothing but omnipotence can break. But yet my love of country comes over me like a strong wind and bears me unresistibly with all these chains to the battlefield. The memories of all the blissful moments that we have spent together come crowding over me, and I am most gratified to God and to you that I have enjoyed them for so long. and how hard it is for me to give them up and burn to ashes the hopes of future years when, God willing, we might have lived and loved together and seen our boys grow up to honorable manhood around us. I have, I know, but a few small claims upon divine providence. But something whispers to me, perhaps the wafted prayer of our little Edgar, that I shall return to my family unharmed. But Sarah, if I do not return, never forget how much I loved you, nor that when my last breath escapes me on the battlefield, it will whisper your name. Forgive my many faults and the many pains that I have caused you. How thoughtless and how foolish I have sometimes been. But Sarah, if the dead can come back to this earth and flit unseen among those they loved, I shall always be with you in the brightest days and the darkest nights. Always, always. When there is a soft breeze upon your cheek, it shall be my breath. And when the cool air fans your throbbing temples, it shall be my spirit passing by. Sarah, do not mourn me dead. Think I am gone and wait for me, for we shall meet again. As for my little boys, they will grow as I have, not knowing a father's love and care. My little Willie is too young to remember me long, and my blue-eyed Edgar, he will keep my frolics with him among the dimmest of his childhood memories. Sarah, I have unlimited confidence in your maternal care and in your development of their characters. Tell my two mothers, his and hers, that I call God's blessing upon them. Sarah, I wait for you there. Come to me and bring my children there as well. Sullivan. All right, next up, Holly Williams. Where is Holly? Oh, hey. So Holly composed this song and is going to sing it for us. Let me help you with the mic here. Adjust that as you need to, okay. All right, Holly Williams.
All by myself, all by myself. There's no place to go. I'm here all alone, and there you come. I see you, you comfort me, you pick me up, you carry me through all my struggles, you carry me through all my pain. You're here to help me, you're here to comfort me through all these things.
Great job, Holly. Great job. All right, next up is Kurt Kissling. Kurt spent some time way up north, and it was really cold up there. He comes back with some tales, some tall tales. Kurt Kissler.
There are strange things done in the midnight sun by the men who moil for gold. The Arctic trails have their secret tales that would make your blood run cold. The northern lights have seen queer sights, but the queerest they ever did see was that night on the marge of Lake LaBarge. I cremated Sam McGee. Now, Sam McGee was from Tennessee, where the cotton blooms and blows. Why he left his home in the south to roam round the pole, God only knows. He was always cold, but the land of gold seemed to hold him like a spell, though he'd often say in his homely way that he'd sooner live in hail. On a Christmas day, we were mushing our way over the Dawson Trail. Talk of your cold, through the parka's fold, it stabbed like a driven nail. If our eyes we'd close, then the lashes froze till sometimes we couldn't see. It wasn't much fun, but the only one to whimper was Sam McGee. And that very night, as we lay packed tight in our robes beneath the snow, and the dogs were fed and the stars o'erhead were dancing heel and toe, he turns to me and, "Cap," says he, "I'll cash in this trip, I guess. And if I do, I'm asking that you won't refuse my last request." Well, he seemed so low that I couldn't say no. Then he says with a sort of moan, "It's the cursed cold, and it's got right hold till I'm chilled clean through to the bone. Yet 'tain't being dead, it's my awful dread of the icy grave that pains. So I want you to swear that foul or fair, you'll cremate my last remains." Well, a pal's last need is a thing to heed, so I swore I would not fail. And we started on at the streak of dawn, but oh, he looked ghastly pale. He crouched on the sleigh, and he raved all day of his home in Tennessee. And before nightfall, a corpse was all that was left of Sam McGee. There wasn't a breath in that land of death, and I hurried horror-driven with a corpse half hid that I couldn't get rid because of a promise given. It was lashed to the sleigh, and it seemed to say, "You may tax your brawn and brains, but you promised true, and it's up to you to cremate those last remains." Well, a promise made is a debt unpaid, and the trail has its own stern code. In the days to come, though my lips were dumb, in my heart how I cursed that load. In the long, long night, by the lone firelight, while the huskies round in a ring howled their woes to the homeless snows, oh, Lord, how I loathed that thing. And every day that quiet clay seemed to heavy and heavier grow. And on I went, though the dogs were spent and the grub was getting low. The trail was bad, and I felt half mad, but I swore I would not give in. And I'd often sing to the hateful thing, and it hearkened with a grin. Till I came to the marge of Lake LaBarge, where a derelict there lay. It was jammed in the ice, but I could see in a trice it was called the Alice May. And I looked at it, and I thought a bit, and I looked at my frozen chum. "Then here," said I, with a sudden cry, "is my crematorium." Some planks I tore from the cabin floor and lit the boiler fire. Some coal I found that was lying around and heaped the fuel higher. The flames just soared and the furnace roared, such a blaze you seldom see. Then I burrowed a hole in the glowing coal and I stuffed in Sam McGee. Then I took a hike, because I did not like to hear him sizzle so. And the heavens scowled and the huskies howled and the winds began to blow. It was icy cold, and the hot sweat rolled down my cheeks, and I don't know why. And the greasy smoke in an inky cloak went streaking down the sky. I do not know how long in the snow I wrestled with grisly fear, but the stars came out and they danced about ere again I ventured near. I was sick with dread, but I bravely said, "I'll just take a peep inside. I guess he's cooked, and it's time I looked." Then the door I opened wide. And there sat Sam, looking cool and calm in the heart of the furnace roar. And he wore a smile you could see a mile. And he said, "Please close that door. It's fine in here, but I greatly fear you'll let in the cold and storm. Since I left Plumtree down in Tennessee, it's the first time I've been warm." There are strange things done in the midnight sun by the men who moil for gold. The Arctic trails have their secret tales that would make your blood run cold. The northern lights have seen queer sights, but the queerest they ever did see was that night on the marge of Lake LaBarge. I cremated Sam McGee.
Kurt Kissling, everybody. Kurt, remind me never to go gold mining in Alaska with you. All right, Stella Hummel is our next act. Stella, you tell me if you want that moved. Move back a little bit. All right, Stella, welcome. Good job. Oh, you need this. Sorry, my fault.
Good evening, my friends. My name is Patrick O'Connell. I'm 12 years old and I'm an orphaned lad and I work in a factory. I often come home late at night, starving, and I have to beg for food. Then one night, I was walking the streets in the rain when a kind old lady opened the door and invited me in. It was a rainy night. My husband had died a few years back. Since then, I've had to sew dresses for rich ladies just to get by. I was cooking up a pot of potato soup when thunder crashed, and I looked up to see a wet rag of a lad out my window. So I decided to invite him in. "Oh, I'm soaked to the bone. Can't thank you enough, Mrs. O'Malley, and pay no mind, but can I get you some hot potato soup? Oh, and excuse me manners, what might be your name?" "It's Patrick O'Connell, and thank you kindly, but I'm allergic to potatoes." "Potatoes? How unusual. Well, in any case, you must get something to eat. Now, do I have a freshly baked loaf of bread in the cupboard? What about that?" "I hate to break it to you, ma'am, but I'm gluten-free." My goodness, I don't think I've ever heard of so many allergies in my life. "Well, you're in luck because I just picked up a wedge of cheese from the market today." Now, you can't be allergic to cheese, can you? "Well, actually, Mrs. O'Malley, it's kind of personal, but my bowels don't do so well if I got dairy in my system, if you know what I mean." "Me heavens! Well, all I have left to offer ye is some warm roasted chestnuts. That ought to warm up your insides." "Nuts? Did you say nuts? I get the hives like you never seen. No, Mrs. O'Malley, I can't have nuts." "Oh, Patrick, what a shame. I have nothing else to offer ye. But if you come back in the summer, then maybe you'll have some allergy-free lettuce and carrots from the garden. Goodbye, Patrick." Well, folks, the moral of the story is beggars can't be choosers. Well, folks, the moral of the story is if you have any potato-free, gluten-free, dairy-free, nut-free food, please let me know.
Well done. Stella Hummel, well done. Good job. Good job. All right, our last act. Evan Vicker. Evan, you here? Evan Vicker. Great job, Evan. Thank you. Let's give a round of applause for all of the participants. Awesome. So it's going to take us a few minutes to tally up the scores. So we're going to have some music back here. Hang out, stay put. There's some candy in the back too. If you don't eat all that, I'm going to take it home and eat it myself. So stay put. We'll be right back. All right, can I have all the participants come on up? Come on up. Come on up. As they do, let's give them a round of applause. Well done. So let's do the kids over here and the adults over on this side. Awesome. Great. Well, we can't have a talent show without talent, right? Even if there were a whole bunch of people in the audience, if there was nobody to look at, it wouldn't be a talent show. So we have some amazing talents up here. Thank you so much. Thank you for your preparation and for your diligence and your presentations. It was all just really, really good. Okay, I'm going to start with the adults. There's a quiet hush over the crowd. Oh. Okay, so we're giving out prizes for the top 2 acts in the adults and the youth. And I disqualified myself because I didn't want to influence the judges. So we have 3 acts, adults. And the third act, there's prizes. Tom Olmos. Thank you, Tom. Number 2 was Mike Huber. So we have participant prizes as well as first and second. And then Kurt Kissling. Thank you to all 3 of you. Thank you very much. Okay, youth. This is the fun part. I mean, seeing these kids up, no offense, guys. Seeing the kids participate is great. Okay, let's see. So we have 5 acts. In 5th place is Adam Stark. In 4th place is Mandy Vicker. In 3rd place is Evan Vicker. In 2nd place is Holly Williams. So Stella is the winner of the youth. Let's give everybody a round of applause. Great job, guys. And I just want to offer another thank you to the panelists, the judges. Without you guys, it would be a very hard decision. You put your time and your energy into it, so thank you. Thank you. Thanks to Bill Clark and the security team. Thanks to Jaden and Tim Scott back there for doing sound and video. If you, I don't know exactly when it's going to be out on YouTube, but it is going to be out on YouTube. So you're all international superstars now. And then Darby Vicker doing the video or the slides up there as well. Thank you so much for coming. It was great. Thank these guys again. All right. Have a great night, everybody. See ya.